Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Stacy. Before I start anything, I want to go ahead and apologize for any whimpering or moaning sounds you might hear in the background. My little dog, Bindi, had some teeth removed yesterday and she's not feeling so hot. She has had her pain meds for today, but she still is, making all kinds of little noises over there. She's wrapped up like a little burrito. I'm trying to keep her cozy. I'm trying to keep her as comfortable as I can right now, but so yeah, if you hear weird noises, that's her. Also, I didn't do a very good job at writing out my books this month for some reason. October was a very weird month for me. I was all over the place. My like ADHD was off the charts. Anxiety was off the charts. I just could not focus or just get my head right. So yeah, my notes really reflect that. But first I want to talk about the books that I read for Katie's Christian readathon, Journey Through the Bible readathon, which was fantastic. She is just so creative. I love seeing the stuff that she comes up with. It's so clever. So the first book that I attempted to read for this was for the prompt, Where Are You Going? And I picked a book with a house on the cover. I forget what that was supposed to be related to in the Bible. I didn't write that down. But I attempted to read House by Frank Peretti and Ted Dekker. I DNF'd that at 50%, and I didn't switch to a different book with a house on the cover, although there is another book in here that I read that would have worked for that prompt, so maybe I could go for that. The next one was Who Are You Going to Meet? And I chose Peter, and that was a book with water on the cover. I picked A Castaway in Cornwall by Klassen. That was our group Christian book club read. And I really like that one. It's historical fiction set in Cornwall, so those are like two good things it had going for it already. But I really did like the characters. I liked the faith content. I liked the storyline. I learned a lot. I don't think I've read anything by Klassen before, but I will definitely read more from her because I really liked her writing. Next is Witness an Event. I chose Jesus's Resurrection, and that is a book that features a new Christian. For that, I went with The Rising by Tim Lahay and Jerry B. Jenkins. It's up on my shelf, and it's like tucked in really tight, and I don't feel like pulling it down. But that is the first book of the prequels for the Left Behind series. And now I feel like it's been forever since I read that one. What did I think about that one? I liked it enough to go straight into book 2, because as soon as that one finished, I did start book 2. What was book 1 about? Okay, book 1. Sorry, my brain just is not firing on all cylinders. Book 1 was about basically before Nikolai Carpathia is born. He's the Antichrist. If you've read the Left Behind series or know anything about it, you know Carpathia is the Antichrist. So it was about his mother and how she wanted to become pregnant and how she went about doing things and had the baby, the Antichrist. It reminded me a lot of Rosemary's Baby. If you guys have read that book or seen that movie, it's very old. It definitely had creepy vibes because, the Antichrist is just pure evil, and everything involving that whole situation was like, this stuff is happening because, the spiritual world is real and the supernatural is real. This stuff is going on around us, and to know that, this is happening or it's going to be happening, it's like a true story in a sense, you know what I'm saying? So that makes it even creepier. It also went into a lot of detail about the pilot. Now I can't remember his name, but again, from the Left Behind series, one of the main characters was a pilot. It starts out when he is a small child. It goes through his childhood, goes through college years. So you really get to know him as a person. Both book 1 and book 2 are very, very character driven. There is a lot of dialogue. So if you don't like a lot of dialogue, you might not like these books, but they do give you a really good backstory for the characters of what they're going to be going through after the rapture happens. And I do remember bits and pieces when I read the Left Behind books a long time ago. So I'm starting to catch on to certain things that, you know, are happening in the prequels. And I'm going to be reading the last one, book 3, hopefully this month. I definitely want to finish that out and jump into the Left Behind books. That's basically my thoughts on those. The first one is The Rising, and the second one was called The Regime. So yeah, I read books 1 and 2. The next prompt was Something Has Happened. I went into The Lion's Den, and that is a book featuring danger. I ended up reading Murder on the Moor by Julianna Deering, which is book 5 in the Drew Fartherling, that is such a hard word for me to say, Fartherling series. I thought that's where I was in the series. I thought I was at book 5, but I'm actually at book 4. So when I started reading this book, I was like, wait a minute, some things have obviously happened that I have missed. But even though I missed book 4 somehow, it didn't mess up the story or anything. I still was able to fully understand the story, the mystery, all of that. So this series is a Christian murder mystery series that takes place in England in the 1920s or 30s. I'm not exactly sure when. But this book in particular is about a man named Beaky who lives out on the moor, and he's newly married, and some weird things are happening on the moor, and a murder has happened. And so he contacts his good old friend Drew, because Drew has been becoming a little famous by solving some mysteries over the past several years. So he contacts Drew and asks him to come out to stay with him and his wife on the moor and investigate. I really like this book. I thought the mystery was really interesting. The characters were great. They're very likable, and there is a lot of faith content in this book. The main character, Drew, brings up his faith. He talks to other characters about his faith. He brings up Bible verses. So if you're looking for a good mystery with good Christian content, I would recommend these books, especially if you like historical mysteries. And the last prompt for the readathon was How Do You Escape? You Pray and Jesus Saves You. And that was a reader's choice book. For that one, I actually haven't finished this one yet, but I've been reading David by Charles Swindoll. This is Christian nonfiction about David. I have about 100 pages left of this. And I've kind of slowed down while reading this because I've been reading Samuel, 1st and 2nd Samuel in the Bible, and that goes along with this, you know, because it follows David's timeline. So I've kind of slowed down with that as I'm reading through Samuel. So I'm almost finished with 2nd Samuel, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this up because I think they run the same timeline. I do have a few other books here that I read after I finished the readathon. And that is The Premonition at Wither's Farm by Jaime Jo Wright. That was a library book, so I don't have it anymore. But I liked that one a lot. I surprisingly liked that one because I honestly did not like Souls of Lost Lake, so I was pleasantly surprised by this. And I'm glad I gave her another chance because I think the faith content in this was really, really good. I gave that book 4 stars, and I also filmed a video review for just that book alone. I'll try to remember to put it in a card or link it or something, but no promises. And the last one that I read was Previous Confections by Ruth Hartzler. That is book 2, and I didn't write down the series it's in. I think it's called the Amish Cupcake Bakery Mystery Series, something like that. I'll have all this stuff written down below. But it was book 2, and I read book 1, I think in September, and I liked it. I thought it was cute. It's not, you know, like blow your socks off kind of thing or anything, but if you're looking for something that's fast-paced and has some funny bits and has likable characters and has a pretty good mystery and has good faith content, yeah, I would read it. There's also an adorable cat in the books named Mr. Crumbles. So if you're looking for something like that, try it out. Anyway, that is all I've got for you guys. I hope you all had a great October and you have an amazing November, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.